everything was wonderful when Shannon left us. And then the next president came and all H-E-double-L broke out. This fella's name was Ed Roach. Now, when Roach came in to power, and that might be a pretty good way to put it, it was a period of change, of conflict, and turmoil. Roach hadn't been on campus 2 or 3 days, and he made a big mistake. Max Sherman, I forgot to mention, straightened out that bad food project. He brought in Marriott's great food service. The students were elated. Well, one of the first things that Ed Roach did was to do away with Marriott and bring in a terrible food service. He didn't learn the first thing about WT students. You can say anything to them you want. You can do anything, but there are 3 things they have to have. 1, they got to have good food. 2, they've got to have wild turkey. And 3, they got to have beer. Well, one time I was going to play Rocky Mountain High by John Denver in one of my classes. My students thought Rocky Mountain High was a 6-pack of Coors. So he made enemies almost immediately out of these students. And then he decided that he would reorganize the college, cut it down from 6 colleges or 7 to 4. And then he started building a mansion on the hill. Reminds me of Hank Thompson's song, or Hank Williams' song, Your Mansion on the Hill. It went about $500,000 over budget. And then he and the faculty began to have fusses on the right and on the left. We even had an underground newspaper called The Rest of the Prairie, where they attacked him, sometimes fairly, sometimes not. And we made all the news that was bad, from the New York Times, the Chronicle of Higher Education, to the Wall Street Journal. Things really got bad. And it got so bad that people wondered about really whether the institution would survive. I began to count my years to see if I could retire successfully. So somebody said, there are 1 of 2 things we can do. We can become a part of University of Texas system or Texas A&M. So what would it be? University of Texas, well, University of Texas settled that pretty quick. They said, we don't want you. They said, we've got problems of our own. Well, A&M decided to take us in, and they worked with Roach for a little while, and then gave him a job downstate, and we had to make changes. Well, the university was at a very low ebb. Morale, everything. And this time, we didn't get any one of these committees. What we did at that time was A&M sent us the man to get things straightened out. And I want you to know they sent here a man that's one of the most remarkable men, I believe, ever in higher education. I really believe that.